My ex-boyfriend broke up with me right after my family vacation and was engaged a month later. My ex-boyfriend and I met back in my freshman year of high school through mutual friends. After a few years of being close friends and having relationships in between, my ex-boyfriend asks me to go to senior prom with him. That begins the start of what I didn't know to become the worst year and a half of my life. He completely swept me off my feet during the first portion of our relationship, opened every door, gave gifts, flowers, jewelry, and amazing dates, and literally worshipped the ground that I walked on. We went on all of the senior trips and activities, prom, and of course, graduated together. I was the happiest I thought I'd ever been, with a glow and everything, because this was both of our first real relationships. At the end of the summer, we both lost our V-cards to one another. I was so excited for us to begin a new chapter together, but he had other things in mind. That completely changed him, but I wasn't really aware of it yet. Anytime I saw him, whether that be at a store, a restaurant, one of our houses, or simply a car ride, he just wanted to do one thing. And I couldn't tell my boyfriend no, of course, so I gave in every time, even if I didn't really want to, but I was just so happy to spend any sort of time with him. Slowly, he started to not ask me on dates, no birthday gift, a good one at least, we'll get to that later, and I didn't hear from him as often. I then started to become really sick every day and also not being able to see him that much either. I'm now aware that it was my body literally telling me to get away from him. I didn't see him from Halloween until Christmas because of how badly sick I was. He also just wouldn't make time to come over to see me. I was so depressed that I lost close to 30 pounds in 3 months. I couldn't eat anything, or else I would immediately be sick. I was literally fired from my job for being sick. After the new year, I made him promise to come over at least once a week after his class. He came over probably 5 times in the whole semester, 2 of the days being Valentine's Day and our anniversary. I didn't get a single gift and was hit with the damn, I was going to stop and get you flowers, but I forgot, while I spent hundreds on him for every holiday. I was still delusional and just happy to see him for even a second, so I didn't mind a bit. I spent the night with him over at his sister's house. We slept on the couch together in the living room with his brother, who was on the couch right next to us. While I was sleeping, I woke up to the sound of him unzipping his pants. He put my hand on, and then I saw a flash. He took a picture of that while I was sleeping, and I never told him I knew. Fast forward a few months, I finally had enough of him for not treating me the way I deserved, so I talked to him about it. It went great. He apologized and promised to treat me like he did at the beginning. How long do you think that lasted? A few months pass, we're preparing for my family vacation, which we were both very excited for. A full week together, I thought this was going to change everything. We start our 9-hour road trip, already having so much fun together, get to my family's house, and start our week of vacation. All of the boys went golfing. I paid over $300 for him to play golf. The rest of the trip was amazing. We spent so much quality time together. I felt we were both the happiest and, honestly, at the peak of our relationship. We return home a week later, and he drops me off. We say our normal goodbyes with plans to see each other next week. 4 days later, it was a normal day. He had just gotten home from work, and I was asking him about his day. He then asks if he can come over. Obviously, I say yes without a thought in my head. He sits me down in my room and says, I don't think this is going to work anymore. Our schedules just don't line up. I'm just sitting there, absolutely shocked that those words just came out of his mouth. Because here I am, without a job and not really much of a schedule to begin with. We had just talked about making our relationship better and spent a full week with my family. I couldn't say any words. I was just violently sobbing into his arms. After a few seconds, he puts his wrist up to look at his watch and says, well, I've got to get home. I've got work tomorrow. It was 6 p.m. That was the last time I'd ever spoken to or seen him. Immediately after he left, I was unadded, blocked, and unfriended. All pictures of me or us together were taken down, basically completely erased from his life within a 5-minute interaction. My life had just been taken away from me, and I was a total wreck. He went on that trip knowing he was going to break up with me. His words actually. So he spent 9 hours in the car, a full week with my family, enjoying all the free activities and everything, sleeping with me multiple times, and 9 hours on the way back home thinking about breaking up with me. Absolutely sick and twisted. After a few weeks, I was completely healthy. I hadn't gotten sick in weeks and actually glowing, and I started to feel more like myself than ever before. I realized all of the red flags that I was blinded to. I finally told my friends what he got me for my birthday the year before. He got me a naughty toy. But wait, it gets better. Also, a necklace with his particular fluids. Ain't it? No card. All I can do is laugh about it now. I also have a passionate hatred for the sport of golf. If he could marry Tiger Woods, I think he would in a heartbeat. He worked at a golf course, worked every day, played at least 9 holes a day, and was at the driving range after every meal. He missed my grandmother's funeral for an exam that I later found out got cancelled, and he said he decided to go to the course instead. He missed a lot of other important things with and for me for a golf ball. He genuinely would come up with any excuse to get out of something with me, whether that be, I have to ask my mom, at 19 years old, or my favorite, sorry, I have to play COD. That last one was used when my dad and grandparents were visiting, and they invited him to dinner. Don't even get me started on I have to clean my guns. There were so many other things, but this is already too long. About a month ago, my friends found out he already had a girlfriend. It didn't bother me because, honestly, it was just so comical to me that he couldn't go that long without getting some. Now, last week, we found out that he got engaged, a little over a month after breaking up with me. That stung a bit, but I couldn't help but laugh. I still haven't gotten an answer as to why he broke up with me. Now, I think I know why. I have been living my life, never better. I have the best friends and people in my life for whom I couldn't be more grateful and appreciative of. Thankful to my body for trying to tell me it was rejecting him. Sorry for not listening. I've been on so many adventures, going to new places, meeting new people, and having the absolute privilege to say that my ex-boyfriend turned me gay. I'll never be able to be with a guy again after that monstrosity that some people somehow call a human being.